The news is live on Joy 99.7 in Accra, on Love 99.5 FM in Kumasi, and on myjoyonline.com. We're also live in 16 regions of Ghana, including Bishara Radio, Tamale, Sky FM Sunyani, and Radio Free Nandom. We're also live on X Spaces and on Facebook. The midday news is supported by Petrosol, your clean fuel in full quantity. Petrosol, always a delightful experience. Also brought to you by Duraplus Ghana Limited, producers of quality PVC and HDPE pipes and water tank, the only water storage tank with a level indicator. Where Duraplus goes, water flows. Coming up, Shraj issues a 10-day ultimatum to Imani Ghana to provide evidence of alleged wrongdoing in the Electoral Commission's equipment auction.
Processes were not done well. The guidelines given were not even exhaustive. And even the issues about data protection. You know what people can do with those machines?
Well, the EC insists the decision to dispose of the machines was financially prudent.
The kits were obsolete and the maintenance of them had reached unsustainable levels. We then took the decision to procure brand new biometric voter management system.
We'll tell you exactly what Shraj is demanding. Also, the National Identification Authority, in defiance, refuses to decide on the National Labour Commission's summons to call off the strike and return to the negotiation table tomorrow.
The law is not meant to be respected by one party, but when you on your part, you have to be very fair in your play to enable me also play fairly.
The National Labour Commission has summoned a meeting for tomorrow. Are you going into that meeting?
I cannot tell for now.
Meanwhile, customers seeking to get their Ghana cards for various endeavours remain frustrated on day 2 of the strike.
I traveled to Kumasi. I was back on this morning, then I was trying to do the Ghana card. Because I will travel by this month. I don't even know. I'm confused now.
Well, we'll bring you details of that. Is the Speaker of Parliament corrupt?
But I've even got to know him better now as a speaker because I'm his chief of staff. And this idea of corruption, I haven't seen it. Yeah. No.
We have more. The Speaker's Chief of Staff challenges former Special Prosecutor Martin Amidu to provide evidence of corruption against Alban Bagbin. We have sports.
Ghana coach Otuado highlights Black Stars' major flaw despite the crucial win against Central African Republic in the World Cup qualifiers.
And later in the bulletin, we ask you, which is more valuable, a Dutch passport or a Ghanaian PhD?
It's official, Kofi Gami. I'm a Dutch. So tonight, champagne pop and celebrate.
We have details of that never-ending debate later in the bulletin. I am Maame Nyamekye Thompson. Please stay for details. Now, the Commission on Human Rights and Administrative Justice, Shraj, has given Imani Ghana a 10-day ultimatum to provide evidence of alleged wrongdoing in the Electoral Commission's disposal of some election-related equipment. Imani, in a petition to Shraj last month, lamented the EC's conduct in what it described as premature retirement and eventual disposal of tens of thousands of laptops, digital cameras, printers, scanners, and fingerprint verifiers. Head of Imani Ghana, Franklin Kujo, said he is gravely concerned by the EC's handling of the nation's scarce resources in discharging its duties.
That all these machines that they were going to throw away were procured in 2011 or 2012. And we said, but how can that be? Because you procured machines even in 2016. The previous EC procured new machines in 2016. You came and procured machines in 2018 and even 2019. Some of them costing close to $3,000, spending close to $15 million on these machines. How come all these machines are dead? That's what they told us. Never mind, 3 weeks after they had used the same machines for district level elections, right? So it cannot be true that all these they are throwing away were from 2011. In fact, that has been one of our major criticisms of the EC. If some of these machines that were in good standing, 2018, 2019, were thrown away together with the other ones, which we don't really believe, they should have done it transparently. The auction processes were not done well. The guidelines given were not even exhaustive. And even the issues about data protection. You know what people can do with those machines?
Well, at a news conference last month, the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Jean Mensah, maintained that old and obsolete 2012 equipment was auctioned through legal processes.
So the question was, whether to use that 56 million to refurbish obsolete kits or whether to use it to procure new kits. And the commission, to enable it arrive at this decision, invited a UNDP Canadian consultant who had advised the commission in 2011 when the decision was taken to go biometric. And then he supervised the procurement and everything. And so when we assumed office in 2018 and we were confronted as to whether to spend $56 million to refurbish kits that were obsolete, we invited him in, and he at the end of the day noted that the kits were obsolete and the maintenance of them had reached unsustainable levels. With that before us, we then took the decision to procure a brand new biometric voter management system for the commission.
Well, Shraj has signaled its intention to investigate the matter, but only if provided with enough evidence. My colleague Elton Brobick joins me in studio with details of a letter addressed to Imani. Elton, what specific evidence is Shraj demanding?
So this is addressed to the president of Imani. The title is Petition to Investigate the Conduct of the Electoral Commission in the Retirement and Disposal of Election-Related Equipment. Request for further and better particulars. We wish to refer to your complaint on the above subject matter lodged with the Commission on May 6, 2024 against the Electoral Commission and 6 others, and to inform that pursuant to initial assessment, the Commission has accepted to investigate the allegations contained therein. The Commission, however, requests your center to provide it with the information or the following, that is further and better particulars relating to the allegation to assist in this investigation. 1. Number of BVDs and BVRs that were procured by the Electoral Commission in 2011, 2018, and 2019. 2. Number of digital cameras in the BVR that could be old, and components such as fingerprints, scanners, or laptops that were new and in perfect working condition, among other items auctioned. 3. Cost of thousands of BVRs and BVDs procured by the Electoral Commission in 2020. 4. Names and particulars of officials, that's first respondents, who put themselves in a conflict of interest situation in the assessment of the obsolete of the BVM legacy equipment, and the vendors and consultants engaged by these officials. And then finally, names and particulars of consultants connected to Fair Green Limited who had incentive to push for a brand new BVMDs. Kindly make this information available to the Commission within 10 days upon receipt of this letter to allow for expeditious investigation. And this is signed by Joseph Whittal, Commissioner of Shraj.
Well, Elton, has there been a response from Imani?
They say that they are sending it and they will furnish the Shraj with all the documents that they are requesting. According to them, we have everything, and they will help their commission to come to a determination on the matter. Thank
you so much, Elton Brobe. We'll certainly keep an eye on that. Away from there, the NIA division of the Public Sector Workers Union of the TUC is yet to decide on the Labour Commission's 24-hour summons to call off its strike and return to the negotiation table on Wednesday, that's tomorrow. The workers are protesting delayed negotiations on their conditions of service. Their action has been described by the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission as unlawful labour practice breaching the rules of engagement. We'll hear from the workers shortly, but first, my colleague Samuel Imbura joins me with details of the statements from the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission and the National Labour Commission reacting to the strike. Imbura, well, first, give us the key points from the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission.
Maame, the Fair Wages and Salaries Commission is raising an objection to the strike, stating that the local union lacks the capacity to declare a strike since its national union does not hold the collective bargaining certificate covering NIA staff. Okay. It goes further to indicate that there was no agreement on a timeline for negotiations, as all parties agreed to negotiate in good faith and expeditiously. Negotiations are ongoing, and it is premature to allege reluctance in granting institution-specific allowances. The Fair Wages and Salaries Commission concludes that the strike declaration is in bad faith, breaches Labour Act 2003, Act 651, and violates the rules of engagement. They cite the NIA local division for unfair labour practice and request action from the National Labour Commission.
Well, how does the NLC react to this statement?
Well, the National Labour Commission has summoned both parties to appear before it tomorrow. However, the National Labour Commission has directed the union to call off the ongoing strike to to facilitate the hearing.
Thank you so much, Samuel Imbura. Well, the NIA division of the Public Sector Workers Union of the TUC has been responding. Divisional Chairman Francis Banfudemi has denied the allegations, insisting they have been unfairly treated. Here's my interaction with him.
It is not today that we're having this discussion that we are saying that we are just giving government, woke up all of a sudden we're giving government just 2 weeks. That would be unreasonable on our part. But this discussion, I'm saying that did not start today. And since our engagement, we didn't have any conditions of service, and we have raised these discussions over a year now. Why should it take them any meaningful management, take them more than a year to fix issues of conditions of service? It's about priority, and it is clear that the economic welfare of the staff is never a priority to the management and government as well.
Okay, so the Fair Wages and Salary Commission is saying that they are citing you for unfair labor practice, contrary to sections 97, 127, clause 3 of Act 651 and relevant provisions of their rules of engagement. How do you react to this?
We will not comment on that, but they should cite themselves first of all that their conduct on this own is in contravention with the same labor act that they are citing to us.
But do you think you have broken any labor laws?
We have, you see, the law is not meant to be respected by one party. But when you on your part, you have to be very fair in your play to enable me also play fairly. But when you come to the pitch and you tie my hands behind and you ask us that let's play or let's fight, is that a fair fight? Untie my hands, let's all fight.
How have they tied your hands?
Obviously, that is government, and they have government functionaries have access to almost all the state institutions. And then they have all come together, but they are not acting fairly on their part. And look at their posture. They are coming back to tell us that we are not acting in good faith.
Well, if you adopt this posturing to the person you are negotiating with, how then do you move forward from here?
No, then all of us have to be sincere and honest to get back to the table. That is all we're looking for.
Well, as the workers deliberate on their next line of action, customers seeking their Ghana cards remain frustrated at their offices. My colleague Kenneth Gissi spoke to some of them at the national headquarters here in Accra.
I traveled to Kumasi. I was back this morning, then I was trying to do the Ghana card. Because I will travel by this month. So I need a Ghana card to do my passport and everything.
So you only got here to realize that they're on strike?
Yeah, I just got here. They said they are on strike. I don't even know why.
And now that your travel is so urgent, what do you do?
I don't even know. I'm confused now. I can't do anything about it.
I'm from Sweden. I came here to come and do Ghana card, but unfortunately when I get here, they said that they're on strike. And I'm from Sweden. I don't know that they're on strike, but I need the Ghana card for my passport and things, for my bank issue and things.
Well, the administrative and operational offices of the NIA office in the Ashanti region have been closed as an industrial action enters a day 2. Meanwhile, several hopeful applicants who just seek for inquiries are being attended to. My colleague Clinton Yabo joins me on the line. Clinton, can you paint a picture of the situation where you are? Hello, Clinton.
Yes. All right. Considering how important the Ghana card has become to identification systems in Ghana, even at the Ashanti regional office, there is always crowd. It's likely for you to see over 100 people crowded at the place. Unlike yesterday that the strike started, but the offices were open and people were still trooping in. This morning the offices are closed, and you can just see only 2 officials sitting at the entrance of one of the closed offices, attending to customers. Now, the applicants who are trooping in come in 2 types. One of the type who are not aware of the strike and are coming, when they see the situation, they get disappointed and turn back home. There are others also who know of the situation, and when they come to the premises and find that the offices have been closed, they are so hopeful of getting attendance to, so they seek the help of the official seated at the entrance of the room. And what the officers are doing is to attend to those who are able to approach them.
Thank you so much. Clinton Yabwa is a man in the Ashanti region. Now away to Parliament. The Office of the Speaker of Parliament says it will no longer respond to the former prosecutor, Martin Amidu, over corruption claims. Mr. Amidu is in one of his write-ups accused the Speaker, Alban Bagbin, of engaging in corrupt practices. On May 28, the Speaker of Parliament denied allegations that he had a meeting with the President in Dubai in 2021 before the rejection of the 2022 budget. He gave Mr. Amidu 7 days to retract and apologize, but he called the bluff of the Speaker. Chief of Staff at the Office of the Speaker, Kofi Atos, tells my colleague Elton Brobe there's no truth in the allegation.
Don't fall to mudslinging and calling names. If he said acclaim, I've not really. Has he mentioned when he said so? Self-acclaimed. It means you have said that you are corrupt. It's not just labeling him. He says he is self-acclaimed. I don't even understand. And working with him the last 4 years, I don't see.
It says the Speaker met the President in Dubai. And then some deals went on.
But you read it the next day. He said he didn't say so. He said he didn't say that he met him in Dubai and some deals went on. In fact, I don't really. It's my comrade, and I don't like some of his write-ups. But it's clear that I don't know whether who is going to set up that platform for him to come. I wish that in one of the write-ups you just tell us. Because the write-ups are sometimes very lengthy. I'm unable to finish all. Whether he gave example of where he was self-acclaimed, I didn't read. Because I want to see that example. Then I'll go and ask Speaker, when did you acclaim yourself to be corrupt? Is he inferring from something he had said or something he had done?
But how does he feel about all of this?
Oh, it's part of the... you know that we denied Parliament issues.
Yeah, there was a statement of denial. And then Mr. Amidu wrote another one saying that he wants a public forum to bring his evidence.
You see that we didn't respond to that one. Litigation must end somewhere.
You had Chief of Staff at the Office of the Speaker of Parliament, Kofi Ato. While still in Parliament, Parliament has announced that it is ready to pass a free senior high school bill to implement the free senior high school policy binding on successive governments. The Majority Leader, Afenyo Markin, announced at a press briefing ahead of Parliament's resumption from break today.
The Minister of Education will present the free SHS bill to Parliament. You know, the Chapter 5 of the Constitution provides some aspirational indicatives. Those are not justiciable. But once, by policy of government, an aspiration, as envisaged by the Constitution, is put into action, then to make it justiciable, you enact.
Well, in Parliament, my colleague James Avegis then joins me with more. James, has the majority put any timeline to the passage of this bill?
Maame, the majority leader has not been able to tell us when they expect this bill to come into full fruition. But what he indicates is that within the course of the week, the education minister should be able to present the bill to Parliament. We know that when a bill comes to Parliament, it then goes to the committee responsible, which will be the education committee, which will sit on this, look through it, and possibly invite civil society organizations and other groups that will come to make some input into it before it is finally laid for the prescribed number of days to come into maturity before it is put into law. And so he's not been able to tell us whether that will be done before they rise at the end of the year.
Well, there's also the bit about a shake-up in the committees. Tell us more.
Yes, Maame. So before Parliament went on break, there's been that issue coming up. In fact, when the majority leader says, when you look at the new standing orders of Parliament, Part 20 allows Parliament to reconstitute some committees at the beginning of every session. And so that is where they are taking the inspiration from. And he's mentioning of two very important committees.
We used to have a Committee of Defense and Interior. Now we're going to have an intelligence committee, which would be separate in form and shape compared to the previous Committee of Interior and Defense, which combined everything. Now we're going to have a Defense Committee, and even Finance Committee is going. We're now going to have the Finance Committee and Economy Committee, and all. So.
And you heard Majority Leader Mr. Afenyo Markin. While the NDC has issued a statement regarding the Atto forcing case, which may have implications on the House. Maxwell Agbagba joins me with details. Maxwell, what does it say?
Well, the NDC Minority Caucus says it will only be available for the business of Parliament after proceedings of the court have ended on the dates scheduled for the hearing of the ongoing ambulance case trial. Now, they said the decision comes on the back of the refusal of the presiding High Court judge, Justice Ifya Sewa Saribuchi, to grant a request from the lawyers of the minority leader for the leave of the court to enable him attend to important parliamentary business on Tuesday, 11 June 2024, when the House resumes its third meeting of the fourth session. Now, it goes on and concludes by saying that in the light of the above and the continuous, what they describe as persecution of the minority leader, the NDC minority will continue to solidarize and stand by its leader anytime he is due to appear in court. The NDC Minority Caucus further reserves the right to apply all other tools available in their approach to business on the floor.
Thank you so much, Maxwell Agbagba. You're still listening to the Midday News on Joy 99.7 FM. We'll take a break here. We'll return with sports. And later in the bulletin, we ask you, which is more valuable, a Dutch passport or a Ghanaian PhD?
When budgets are tight and money difficult to come by, you want to be sure you get the best value for your money. These are not times to be spending money fixing expensive engine problems because of cheap fuel and lubricants. Drive to a petrol source station today and buy your quality fuel and lubricants, and rest assured of fuel that lasts long and lubricants that prevent expensive engine problems. Hear the sound. Petrosol, clean fuel in full quantity.
The regular football season is over. But not for us here at Supersport. We've got a big deal coming your way. Get connected to DSTV to see some of football's biggest names starring in all 51 matches of Euro 2024, live and in HD. Now that's a big deal.
Welcome back. We have sports with Mubarak.
Yes, Maame. So the Black Stars are currently at the top of Group I with 9 points following a 4-3 win against the Central African Republic last night. However, head coach Otoado expressed dissatisfaction with the defensive performance of the players and hopes to improve upon that in subsequent matches.
In the second half, we had a lot of shots on the goal, a lot of good positioning, also defensively, much better than in the first half. And I think then at the end we deserve to win. Still, I think, like I said before, this Central African Republic have a very good team, very good on counters. We didn't protect our half well when we lost the ball, and this is really something which we have to improve on. But it starts with the pressing up front. So one is we have to put pressure on the player who's playing the ball, and the second thing is we have to drop much more, not to get played behind us.
Yep, so up next for the Black Stars in the qualifiers is a match against Chad in March 2025.
I hope they win. Well, Vice President Dr. Maame Bawumia has assured the operationalization of the long-awaited Sewa Government Hospital and the Aferi Military Hospital in the Ashanti region by August 2024. This much-needed expansion in healthcare infrastructure in the region is expected to alleviate pressure at the Komfo Anokye Teaching Hospital and improve overall accessibility to quality medical services. During his engagements with professional bodies in Kumasi, Dr. Bawumia underscored the significance of these new healthcare facilities when commissioned by August. Well, first, take a listen to the chairman of the Ghana Medical Association in the Ashanti region, Dr. Pakwesi Bedu.
For the first time, thank you to our CEO. Usually what they did was to hide the mess at the emergency because of overcrowding. And the reason being that almost Komfo Anokye takes care of so many of the regions, 6, 7, 8 regions in the country. 12 regions in the country. And I'm sure they saw and they will collaborate what we saw, and I'm sure some of them felt so nauseating. Some threw up. and they will confess to you. And that is the environment as health workers we find ourselves.
But the Vice President says the mission by August.
The overcrowding that we are seeing at Komfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital, and which is really under pressure, being a referral hospital for 12 regions, and has made some suggestions which we should take very seriously, dedicating resources for retooling the Komfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital. I am in agreement with that. I think that if we want a Komfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital to perform, it cannot perform without those resources. And I think that you've made particular reference to two hospitals that are almost done. Sewia, which is a regional hospital, and Afari Hospital, which is a military hospital. I think that we expect Sewia to be commissioned. I think hopefully by next month, July, and by August, commission Afari as well.
And here's Vice President Dr. Maame. We stay a while longer on health issues as CAF has started offering free dialysis treatment to patients under a new initiative of the National Health Insurance Authority. More than 10 persons who qualify for the service have benefited from the initiative since Friday. CEO of the National Health Insurance Authority, Dr. Dacosta Abuaji, has revealed that non-subscribers of the health insurance scheme also qualify for the service, which will run for 6 months. Nana Yaojima joined the National Health Insurance Authority management for a tour of the renal unit.
At the time of the visit, 2 people were undergoing dialysis at the renal unit of the Komfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital. Until today, each of the 2 persons would have paid at least 595 cedis for the session, which is done at least twice a week. But with the new policy implementation, the session is free for persons below 18 and those above 60 years, as well as subsidized for those captured between 19 and 59 years. Deputy Medical Director at Komfo-Anokye Teaching Hospital, Dr. Yao Oparilabi, says challenges in the delayed implementation have been resolved.
Right after our meeting on Friday, the team went to work and we started rolling it out. And we started using the forms that were provided by the NHIA. So, as has been mentioned, all those who from the 1st of June paid money to come for dialysis will be reimbursed once the information is all put together.
Nana Yaojima with that report. And theirs was sheer grit to prevail when the going got tough. That's the unrelenting story of Notre Dame Girls Senior High School, who were written off after trailing behind in 3rd position at the end of the penultimate round of the Bono Regional Qualifiers of the nsmq. But in a surprising comeback, the ladies from Fiapre, with their mantra of women empowerment, escaped defeat in an all-male dominated contest. Emmanuel Bright-Kweku has more.
Are you ready now? We are taking the prize away.
These are the ladies from Notre Dame Girls SHS, and they have qualified yet again to the nationals. I can see you are giving a vibe. How do you feel?
Yeah, the feeling. We can't even calculate. I mean, the contest there, you call it tough, we call it a piece of cake. We are going higher.
And the debate over the value of a Dutch passport versus a Ghanaian PhD has captivated social media for weeks, sparking divided opinions. The Joy Social podcast team discussed the topic considering the various perspectives. Maxwell Agbagba has more.
This song by musician Reg Rockstone about the pain of being denied a visa kept playing in my head on my way back. I had just been denied a visa. The worst part, I had taken lists of what I would buy for my favorite friends on my way back to Ghana.
It's official, Kofi Gabby. I'm a Dutch.
Meet Kofi Gaps, the Ghanaian cleaner who has relocated to the Netherlands, now a citizen and owns a Dutch passport. For 2 weeks running, he has divided opinions with his comments that a Dutch passport is more valuable than a Ghanaian PhD.
The first country to refuse me Schengen visa in Ghana in 2007 was the Netherlands Embassy. And the last country to also refuse me Schengen visa in Ghana in 2017, the Netherlands Embassy. Today, 2024, I am officially a citizen of the Netherlands. I'm a Dutch. So tonight, champagne pop. Passport with a more precious, more valuable than PhD.
Let me make a point.
And that report by Max Oliver bringing us to what's trending. What's trending, Max?
Yeah, our Joy Social Bus Stop Diaries is actually trending. You need to watch that episode on YouTube. It's available on YouTube. Interesting perspective that the guys are giving it.
A Dutch passport or a PhD.
Or PhD. Bus Stop Diaries is our new social media podcast show. You need to check it out. Bus Stop Diaries,
All right, and apart from that, I think Kudus is also trending after yesterday's match. You know, people were expecting him to score, and this morning he's actually replying all those on social media who are saying that they were expecting him to score. They were just saying that we've overhyped him, and he's just blasting everybody left, right, center. So he's trending this morning.
Jordan Ayew is also trending because he scored a hat-trick yesterday.
Yes.
Yeah, second time he's scoring a hat-trick.
Well,
and
still
then,
doesn't change my mind. I'm not going to watch any Masters match.
I think this should change your mind, you know.
No. I love my life.
A lot of people have been tweeting about Jordan Ayew. His spokesperson, Fifi Taki, says, congratulations, Jordan Ayew, on reaching a remarkable milestone in your national team career. George Ado Jr. says, Jordan Ayew's composure when taking spot kicks is top-notch. That's how to get a goal.
Thank you, guys. And that's how we end the bulletin here on Joy 99.7 FM. I am Nyamekye. Thompson. Up next is Pastor Mensa Audible with Living Word.